Page 33. Sam's troubles made Ralph feel cocky once more. "If you're a watchdog, watch me," he said, and taking a deep breath, he shot between Sam's legs and out the other side before the surprised dog could turn around. Ralph swerved around a green walnut lying on the ground and into a patch of weeds beside a nearby building. "Come back here," barked Sam. "You aren't supposed to do that." He began to snuffle around in the weeds. Ralph had not expected to be snuffled for. He had thought that once he was inside the camp, Sam would give up. Sam growled and moved his nose around in the weeds like a doggy vacuum cleaner. Unable to hide, Ralph pushed his motorcycle farther back into the weeds. The wet black nose parted the stalks, but Ralph was saved by a gopher hole. He dragged his motorcycle into its shelter. "Oh, no, you don't," growled Sam, and began to dig with his powerful front paws. Dirt began to fly. Pulling his motorcycle after him, Ralph waded farther back through the loose dirt into the gopher hole. Faster went the paws. "Hey, everybody! Sam's after a gopher!" a boy yelled, and Ralph could feel feet pounding on the ground overhead. "Go get him, Sam!" urged another boy. "Sick 'em, Sam!" everyone seemed to be saying at once. "You're being mean to the gopher," protested a girl. Several girls' voices began to yell, "Go, gopher, go!" Faster and faster flew the paws with their strong toenails. Sam was panting now. Ralph pushed further and farther back into the gopher run until a disagreeable voice ahead of him said, "And where do you think you're going?" "Eek!" squeaked Ralph, face to face with the owner of the gopher run. He hastily pushed his motorcycle, which he had been pulling, ahead of him for protection. "Beat it," said the gopher, squinting at Ralph. "I didn't dig this tunnel for mice." The digging paws were coming closer. "Attaboy, Sam!" shouted the boys. "Go, gopher, go!" shouted the girls. Even the gopher looked uneasy. "Please," pleaded Ralph, "save me from that beast." The gopher was more interested in saving himself. Already he was beginning to move farther down the run. "You can stay until that dog stops digging and no longer," he said, and fled off into the network of tunnels. Not far away a bell clanged. "Breakfast! Chow time!" yelled the boys, and the feet that went pounding off in the direction of the bell shook the ground overhead. The paws stopped churning, but overhead Ralph could hear the sound of panting. Sam poked his fearsome snout into the gopher hole for one last sniff before he too trotted off for breakfast. "Phew," gasped Ralph, leaning against his motorcycle. He had pictured camp as a place where boys would bring him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, not this dark and dusty tunnel inhabited by a grouchy gopher.